I'm Samuel Lee, and first off, by show of hands, how many know who Michael Jordan is? Yes, it should be everyone. Everyone recognizes him as the greatest basketball player ever. But what people fail to realize is that he not only impacted the NBA and the sport of basketball, but he also impacted society, which comes to my major claim. Michael Jordan has had a greater impact on society than any other professional athlete. Now, in order to have a great impact on society, you have to impact what you do. And what Michael Jordan did was play sports, which is my second support claim. Michael Jordan changed sports. First off, he broke the norm of how to win. Normally, people say professional athletes have God-given ability and talent. With Michael Jordan, he showed that practice, competitiveness, or competition, and desire to win is the way to go if you're not a giant or if you're not strong. A quote from Art Thiel, a journalist for NBA.com, wrote, "Most remarkably, neither Jordan nor Pippen was a 7-foot monolith previously believed to be the mandatory requirement for sustained NBA success. Basketball's presumed minimum physical virtue, height, was not a part of their games and almost no part of the Bulls' championships. Through this and his competitive nature, Michael Jordan also reshaped the worth of an athlete. Before, athletes would just sell merchandise, have few sponsorships, sell tickets, jerseys. But Jordan changed all of that. According to Fortune magazine, in an article in 1998, which is Michael Jordan's last year as a Chicago Bull, editor Roy S. Johnson estimated that Michael Jordan's total revenue in his career was approximately $10 billion. So he changed how an athlete should be and how business terms should be, which brings to my second point. Michael Jordan reshaped the economy. He established this notion of mainstream sponsorship. According to Michael Jordan Inc., a book written by David L. Andrews, an author of numerous sports culture books, stated that Michael Jordan has been sponsored by Nike, Coke, McDonald's, Sara Lee, Gatorade, Ray-Ban, Chevrolet, and numerous more. 4 of these sponsors have nothing to do with basketball or sports, which gives the notion that, hey, this guy is wanted to be like, maybe you should sponsor him. Also, in the 2003 poll of Advertising Age, 5 years after his retirement, 26% of the respondents said that they were most likely to buy a product endorsed by Jordan other than Tiger Woods or Lance Armstrong. This is significant because Michael Jordan hasn't played basketball in 5 years, had a recent comeback, but wasn't substantially incredible, and yet people still respond and wanted to buy his stuff. Also, he redefined global marketing schemes. As you know, Michael Jordan is sponsored by Nike, and he's also the first to have his own branched off called the Jordan Branch. According to a 1998 Fortune article, states that Nike was worth approximately $5.6 billion. Half of that, over half, $2.6 billion, came from Jordan gear itself. Now, because of his high stature in sports and his sponsorships, he also reshaped culture. He globalized basketball as a worldwide sport. This was possible due to the 1994 Olympics, where Jordan was part of known as the Dream Team. However, although he played with many Hall of Fame players, Michael Jordan was the spotlight because of his style of play, his ferociousness on the court, and his sponsoring. Because of his, exploitation to the world, he broke what was deemed as important in various cultures. In a Walter Lafever book, Michael Jordan and the New Global Capitalism, he writes, in China, school children ranked him with Zhao and Lai as the 2 greatest figures in the 20th century. The children knew Zhao and Lai because he helped create the Communist Revolution. They knew Jordan because he miraculously floated through the air, both as an athlete and as a pitchman for American-produced advertisement for Nike shoes, which the children avidly followed on television. Also, from the front page of France Sawyer, a national newspaper for France, stated in October 1997 when Jordan visited France for a McDonald's basketball game, stated that Michael Jordan is in Paris, as better than the Pope, is God in person. So my conclusion that next time you hear the word Michael Jordan or see him on TV or even see a Hanes commercial, I hope you understand that he did not just play great basketball, but he impacted the world that you live in today. Thank you.
All right, well, the claim is clearly identified. There's no preview of what the supporting points are going to be, but there's very good signposting of those points as they come up. You phrased all of them as claims. The only thing that I think is problematic about the speech is how much controversy there is on it. We don't get much contrast with other sports figures or any discussion about whether or not other people see some other figure, particularly a sports figure, as having the same kind of impact or comparison on the culture or the world. And I think that that's where there is controversy, if there's any controversy on this. Otherwise, it's really more about describing something that is a phenomena as opposed to necessarily making an argument about it. Given that that's the main reservation that I have, I thought you did an excellent job in citing information. You're very consistent about giving us the sources of your information. You had a diversity of examples and statistics and testimony that you're presenting on the speech, and I thought you did a good job on all of that. The presentation is also pretty solid. You talked to the audience for the most part. There is one claim about the globalization of basketball that you make as a consequence of the 1994 Olympics. I think you need a little bit more proof on that that is in fact the point at which it became globalized, and that Jordan's role in that was significant. There might be a little bit of dispute there, because like you seem to acknowledge, it is, there were other stars on the team, but you said the focus was on him. Well, how do we know that? How do we know he's the one who made the impact? Maybe it's just the reporting at the time, or maybe it's like you talked about all the Chinese kids who happen to know his name and say he's important, but I think that inference needed a little bit more work. All right, thank you.